Win takes you to third in the world rankings. Should Rahm and Morikawa be worried?
I got a lot of left to prove to be able to beat those guys, you know. But this is a good start, and we'll see what happens.
Rise in official world golf rankings for Viktor Hovland. In 2019, 680th in the world, and then you could see the ascent from that point on was very distinctive, very dramatic, and at this point, very close to the top. He is currently at third. Eddie Pepperell, ever the character, put out the following tweet. Thought I was a bit old for this, but Viktor Hovland is my favorite golfer. Rex, I'm guessing that that's an emotion that a lot of people are feeling about Viktor Hovland. Aside from the pure talent that we see, he has this killer instinct that he doesn't seem to get consumed by the moment.
And it's childlike. I mean, I don't want to call him a child and not being defensive at all here, but I think when you watch him play, it's just fun to watch. He always has a smile on his face. And we talked about the shots in on 18, first in regulation, and then in the playoff. He just doesn't seem to have a gear that is slower than what he moves at. He always seems to be looking at what is the boldest shot, what shot can I pull off, and he pulls them off more times than not. I do want to add, Viktor Hovland might be his favorite player, but I think Eddie Pepperell is still my favorite follower on Twitter.
That's true. It's a very fun follow on Twitter at that. But what is it about Viktor Hovland that, how would you define, let me put it this way, the it factor?
Again, I'll go back to the idea that he's enjoyable to watch. Covering
the smile.
The smile, going back to last year's hero, he was so happy just to be in that situation. And I think sometimes, even at that age, it can become a grind. And it's not a grind. He still lives in Stillwater, where he went to college. He still hangs out with all of his friends, and he plays golf with that abandon that we just talked about. I was really concerned after the Ryder Cup. Not because I thought that mentally it would be such a hit, but it was going to be hard for a player playing in his first Ryder Cup to take that kind of defeat.
Well, he was also touted going in. People were saying he's going to go 5-0.
Yes, and to take that kind of defeat, the whole European team took that kind of defeat. But I was curious of how he was going to bounce back, and clearly what he has done since then shows that there was going to be no after effect whatsoever.
How important do you think he is when we look across the spectrum of the game right now, and we have a lot of stars, we have a lot of young stars? Where does he fit in the mix?
Well, you look at where he's at in the world ranking right now. We're talking about him being world number 1. He's world number 3 right now, and we kind of got into the conversation. He was asked about getting to world number 1, and I had this conversation on Sunday with my colleague Ryan Lavner, and he said absolutely he's going to get to world number 1. He is going to get to world number 1. I truly believe that. He has the skills, he has the it factor that you just pointed out, and he has the drive. It doesn't look like he is slowing down at all, despite everything that he has done. I will say this just as a caveat. He doesn't get to world number 1 in a vacuum. There are a lot of people around him, chiefly Jon Rahm, who doesn't look like he's slowing down.
There's traffic. Yeah.
Yes. Now, Collin Morikawa is a bit of a different conversation. He's second. But then everyone else that's a line behind him, I still think he's going to have some things have to fall in his direction. But certainly he's heading in that direction.
What do you think about Hovland? Because you were there at the Travelers when he was introduced to the world at that press conference for the very first time. In terms of his ascent, in terms of working on parts of his game that weren't quite as strong, like his wedge play, et cetera.
If you look at, they kind of came out as a threesome, right? If you look at what Collin Morikawa did straight out of college, Viktor Hovland and Matthew Wolff was in that conversation. I remember talking with people on the range, people that know a lot more about the golf swing and a lot more about tour golf than I do, and they all pointed to Viktor, saying that he's probably the most complete player at that time when they all turned pro. He's probably a little bit the more consistent of all the players, and this went more to Morikawa's putting than anything else. So you can certainly talk about his ball striking, but I think he's only gotten better in those areas that you've talked about. And if he continues to do that, then yes, I'll fall in line behind Ryan Lavner and say absolutely he's going to get to world number 1.
And it seems like he's getting stronger as well. I mean, that tee shot at 17, 338 yards away is an example.
I was taken by that highlight because he drove the green, and when I think about Viktor Hovland, I don't put him in that category of a Bryson DeChambeau, but he's certainly plenty long enough. But when he has that type of firepower, not a big body, but he can certainly move it out there. It's not going to be a weakness in his game whatsoever.